Hi, this is my second entry into the artist fieldwork project. This concert that I'm gonna be talking about in this video happened in the beginning of the year. But the prompt that you included in your syllabus really seemed to be connected with it. Especially the artist date one, that one especially. And another preference is that you might think me and Philip are both equals within knowing the punk scene or being part of it, but I'm not. I'm a poser. Philip introduced me to it in the beginning of the school year, and yeah, that's it. All right. So the first thing I remember about that night is when me, Philip, and some of our friends were walking towards the venue, and I could hear the music from 3 blocks away. That was the moment I was like, "Shit, what the hell did I get myself into?" That was when my legs literally turned into jelly. And one of those videos of like the baby deers starting to walk when it was first born. I felt like that, like the craziest butterflies in my stomach, only comparable to when I do presentations because I'm not that good of a public speaker. And to be honest, I've always worn the clothes of the alternative style relating to the subgenre of punk, like the chains, the black denim, the Doc Martens that I'm literally wearing right now as we speak. I've been wearing these clothes since the beginning of high school, but I never seen the real culture behind it and how it spawned into my wardrobe. And so, honestly, the genre of hardcore was basically like a myth in my head. I never understood what differentiated hardcore from the rest of like the alternative genres like in within rock, like death metal, black metal, hard rock, so and so forth. But I was once I stepped into the venue, I saw it. It was loud, chaotic, and it reminded me of something bigger than me, you know? All right. So once I first started to walk inside the building, I noticed that the room was only lit by one dim light bulb that cast a soft glow on everyone's faces. And it was just like this ghostly color, you know? And the air had like a metallic taste, like you could bite into the energy. And the people, they weren't the typical alt kids you would see online, like, the TikTok alternative kids, the fake posers and stuff. Well, I'm a poser too, but you already know it. But they were real. They had shaved heads, heavy makeup, jackets held together by patches, like hair dyed every single color of the rainbow. It was crazy. And they all moved like they owned the ground, you know? So I felt weirdly at home in the beginning, but weirdly exposed at the same time. Like I stepped into a room filled with people I faintly recognize, but I didn't like fully identify with them just yet. But that was when the first chord hit of the first set. And honestly, it felt like I was getting shoved in the chest. The guitars would literally like, oh my god, the bass like shook my whole body. I didn't even hear music at first. It was like a building exploding, like all the thrashing and like the I don't know why I made that sound, but you know what I mean. Like, wow. I just reflecting on it right now was just so crazy. My ears were ringing. Like that's how loud it was. But under all that noise, it was something steady, like almost a pulse and a heartbeat, a kind of call that felt like it was aimed directly at the part of me I never talk about with others around me. Grail Marcus talks in Lipstick Traces about punk as an eruption, a rupture in the membrane of normal life, a trace left by all failed revolutions humanity couldn't let go of. In that room, I could feel those traces buzzing beneath the floorboards, like the ghosts of every scream the genre had ever carried. Marcus says punk isn't just the sound, it's a question, an interruption, a refusal. And maybe because I never answered that question before within myself, the music felt like a dare, a challenge, a hand, outstretched pulling me forward, saying that it was alright to be who I am. And before I knew it, the crowd just ignited. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It was like thunder. One person pushed forward, then another, and then suddenly the whole room was just pushing, kicking, punching, and like spinning, bodies slamming into each other like some kind of chaotic dance they all rehearsed. But I wasn't really accustomed to that. I had no idea what I was looking at. People were two-stepping, which is the traditional dance that punks usually do, swinging, thrashing, and it all looked insane. But to me, it was beautiful and honest in a way. Like they were just doing what their bodies were telling them in the moment. Like, so first, I stood at the edge, watching like a total idiot from the sidelines, like, because I didn't know what I was looking at to begin with. But then something inside of me opened or woke up. I don't know. 1 second, I was frozen. Then the next second, I was trying to do a recreation of the two step, but I looked like a chicken. I got hit on the shoulder, elbow, basically every single part of my body, but I didn't really care about that. It was like I was part of it. I was part of that inferno. And I just wanted more. I just wanted to take as much as I can. That was the moment when fashion and music finally clicked together for me. These people weren't wearing this for aesthetic. They were wearing it because they lived it. The jackets they made were stories and showed what music and what they liked. The boots were tools and protection so they don't get their feet smashed the fuck out of. The eyeliner was armor or even like war paint. Everything was functional. It was born out of the movement, the sound, the impact. And suddenly the clothes I've been wearing for years and admired had finally context to me. And the true meaning was to express yourself, not to replicate what others wear. It's to be your own person, not to be a clone of those around you. Somewhere in there, I stopped being like the deer I said in the beginning, the baby deer who couldn't talk, walk. I wasn't graceful or anything at the dances that I was doing, not even close, but I wasn't scared to do it anymore. I finally knew that I could just be myself within the pit. The wild thing about hardcore is how much care exists under all the violence. The second someone hits the floor, a hand reaches down. When I stumbled, when someone hit me, someone took my back and steadied me without even looking at me. The chaos felt intentional, like we're all agreeing to break open a little and trust the people beside us to catch us when we fall down. And by the end, my throat was cooked. I had been screaming, my legs were just shaking, my brain was just going at 100 miles per hour, just thinking. It almost like I lived just 6 months in 3 hours. 6 months of chaotic life in just 3 little hours. I walked out completely different, with a different mindset. Not completely transformed. It was almost like I became awake from a slumber I had for 18 years. Like something inside of me was nudged forward by that concert that I just went to. And I feel like that's what Marcus means by traces. It's like sparks that wait around until the right person steps into the right room at the right time. And for me, that was it. My first hardcore show, my first pit, And my first moment realizing the scene had always been waiting for me. And all it said was, fuck it.